Thank you all for being here. Rtambhara Wellness is already into a month-long celebration of yoga in this month, with today's program titled Deepening Yama to Heal with Yoga. And it'll be delivered to us by Mrs. Anuja Jacob. She'll also take us through understanding Yama, its significance in the process of healing. There'll also be a small section on healing the chakras, followed by a brief guided meditation as well. Before we introduce our speaker and hand over to Anuja, a little information for those who were not here earlier and have joined us today. Rtambhara Wellness is a collective of like-minded individuals that look at wellness in a holistic way, not just the body, but the mind as well, and all through the practice of knowledge and wisdom that comes from our ancient Indian scriptures and heritage. We conduct corporate programs and retreats for wellness that look at personal transformation, and the details are available on our website, rtambharawellness.com. We also conduct webinars regularly, and our earlier talks are uploaded on YouTube under Rtambhara Wellness. If you'd like to be part of our community, please post your contact details, cell number, email ID, and we can add you to our groups. In today's session, we have the talk and meditation for 45 minutes, followed by a Q&A. And Anuja will be handling that. Please feel free to post your questions on the chat function, and Anuja will answer that after her talk. So let's get on with today's session and learn about deepening Yama to heal with yoga. I'd like to invite Prem, our Director, IT and Marketing, to introduce Anuja to you. Over to you, Prem.
Thank you, Binaji. It's my absolute pleasure to introduce Anuja Jacob. A life coach and yoga trainer, Anuja Jacob is an alumni of the Delhi School of Economics and the School of Planning and Architecture. She's been conducting yoga sessions and guided meditations for people across the globe. Anuja is also an avid blogger on spirituality and philosophy and is currently the program director at My Persona. So over to you, Anuja.
Thank you, Prem. Thank you, Beena. And good evening, everyone. I'm just very overwhelmed to see so many people who have joined. A lot of you are my co-meditators, my co-sadhaks. And welcome, everyone, those who don't even know me. I just want to dedicate today's session to our dear friend who we lost in the afternoon, Chitra. And she fought a brave battle. And if she hasn't taken her jet yet, somewhere very far, she's around and she probably would be hearing this, and she always wanted to hear things like these. So this one is for you, Chitra. I'll just close my eyes and we'll just invoke the Guru. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. So today's session is about Yama, and it's about yoga. And I will get to Yama slowly. Let me build the story for you. What is yoga? We have been taught over and over again, yoga is to join, yuj. It comes to the word yuj, to join. Now join what? I remember one of the earliest classes that we did when we were told yuj is to join. Somebody in the class says, yeah, when I join my fingertips to my toes, that is yoga, because I can actually go down and bend. So what is yoga? Yog, it comes from the word yog. What is joining? It is our pure essence joining with the final entity. It is the joining of the Atma with the Paramatma. So why is it not joined yet? Because I think Atma is still very confused and lost, and it has got caught up in the mind and body. That instant when the Atma or a pure essence or a higher self knows who it really is or what it really is, that's it. That's when the yoga happens. So we cannot do yoga. Yoga cannot be done. It's a state of being. You become, it's yoga. You're in the state of yoga. So after having understood this, I will take you to Yama. Now, one thing about the process of yoga or coming into yoga is this. nobody can avoid it. It is happening to everybody. The most godforsaken, the most wayward person on the planet is going to be pushed into that unison. There is no not happening of that. We are doing it more consciously, perhaps. Some are not doing it consciously, but it is happening and it will happen. That is the design of the universe. So no point fighting it. I mean, you can fight, but I'm saying there's no point in going on resisting it. It will happen. Um, so it's resisting it like is, how do I say? You know, you're caught up in a barbed wire in a thorny bush, and somebody's trying to take those, you know, those thorns out of you and remove the barbed wire. I said, no, 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 don't let me be here, please. I'm quite happy. You know, let me be bleeding and in suffering and pain. And then in the yoga, when the process of yoga is starting, and if you're asked to become in awareness or come into awareness, that is what is happening. Somebody is removing some force, some greater force is actually removing the thorns, removing the barbed wire. The ones who are ignorant about it, it's painful for them. The ones who even know about it and are willingly offering themselves into this process, it is difficult for them too. So the visual that we have of somebody who's coming into awakening on awareness and is sitting by the poolside or sitting near the mountain with a flower in the head, and this is awakening, it's a very incorrect visual. That is not how it happens at all. It is, ask the people who are going through the churn, it is a painful process, really, because simply imagine that corollary that I'm giving you. Imagine if somebody is taking the thorn and the barbed wires out of your system, which have been embedded over the years, over your lifetimes. How would you feel? It is painful. So people who say, I have been meditating or I have been doing on this process, and why was it still pain? Why do I feel like it's crashing down on me? This is what is happening to you. So be very aware that when we put ourselves consciously also into this process, it is trying, it is a tough one, and it's a lonely path, really. I'm not trying to dissuade anybody, but now let's say that we have decided, okay, let me consciously get into this process where this unison is going to happen. Now I am moving towards it, so I reconcile with the idea. Let's get into yoga. So if you have come till here, there is a process and a protocol to follow. For example, if you have to launch your rocket into the space, if you want to do organic farming, you will have to have a certain protocol and process in place, as simple as that. You will need to go enroll with NASA perhaps, or ISRO, wherever, whichever agency you are thinking of.
Frozen and Anuja?
Anuja, we just lost you.
Shall I ask her to reconnect?
Yes, I think we just lost.
Okay, I'll just
I
pause.
think so, yeah.
It is paused, ma'am. I cannot also see.
Okay, I'm back. Just in case somebody thought I went and merged with the Paramatma. No, the network just dropped. Okay. So the eightfold, the eight limbs of yoga are those processes or the protocols that are put in place for people to understand or to follow, to be able to be there. And one of the limbs, the first limb is Yama, which we are going to talk today about. But before that, I want to take you through those eight limbs of yoga and what is the whole science behind it? Why does it come in place? Now the journey is called an inward journey. Now inward journey is a matter of speaking. It's just English. In where are we going in? Don't know. So it's called inward because we are disconnecting, unhooking, unplugging from the world and going somewhere other than the world. So where is that other than the world? It is perhaps inside only. So Notionally, it is an inward journey. So the first step, Yama, is that if I am making an entry in, I'm going in, I'm switching off the world, what should be my disposition or what should be my behavior in the world? Because that needs to be all right for me to go in. I'm switching off, I'm logging out. So I am now making sure everything is fine. I am not created any nuisance. And if I have, then how do I take care of it? So yamas are those, my behavior, my social conduct as I am exiting, because now I'm going to start. So I have to first create that space and then move in. Then are the niyamas. That is, what is my behavior towards myself? What am I doing for myself? So niyamas are 5. It's very simply put. There are these, the first is shocha, which is cleanliness. I need to be clean because I'm going to go in. There has to be a general sense of cleanliness, hygiene factors. It's spoken quite often. Santosha, that I am state of contentment. I am not flittering or getting hyperventilated. What else is there? What else is there? So you move in. Tapa, you get into some kind of discipline. We are not frettered in energy here and there. Swadhyaya, self-study. I'm going to pick up something worthwhile to read. I mean, you can pick up quantum physics, but that's not going to take you for yoga, though it's very nice and very good, but really, does it really help? So it definitely can be, but that is not yoga. That swadhyaya or self-study is not for the yoga to happen. So pick up those books where you get understanding of how the yoga will happen or clarify the mind. And then there is Ishwar Praridhana, which is to contemplate. There's another word for it called Nididhyasanam. Some of us are familiar with it. So once you read, you go and get into a state of contemplation. So this is niyama. These are all 5 niyamas, which are all about us. And once the world is okay because of our yamas and I am behaving appropriately, then how's my body? Can it take me to a place of yoga? Because it's aching and paining and all my behaviors and interaction have got me all pains and aches and whatnot is happening. My heart is not too well. I'm not breathing quite all right. My BP is high. My kidneys are going. My knees are aching. My back is aching. And what do I do? And how will this process happen? So then comes the third limb, which is the asana practice, which a lot of people think are doing yoga. And I'm going to come back to that. So once the body is stopped creaking, it is in some semblance of quiet, because we need to have to sit down and still ourselves. We can't sit still if our body is crying for help. Somewhere we are scratching, somewhere it's aching, somewhere it's bloating, so the body has to be in good condition. So therefore, asana practice is taken on. So once the body is all right, is the inside of the body also okay? The energy that flows in and out of us, the vital force, the prana, is that flowing all right? Are we still sneezing, sniffing, coughing, burping, farting? All of that is still happening. Then how will we sit still? So therefore, the pranayama practice comes so that the inside is then set to peace and everything is fine. Nothing else is distracting. My body and the inside of my body is all right. Now, inside is seeming quite nice. So then I close my eyes and I cut off the world, because inside is quite frankly looking quite all right for me to handle. So it's called the state of pratyahar. You're cutting off the 5 senses and the sense perceptions of the world. That is coming in, withdrawing, close. Once it's inside, you are inside and the world is shut out, then you come to a place of dharana, which is you start watching your own thoughts and your own feelings. Now then you are detaching from your mind. Earlier you were detaching from your body. Now you begin to detach from the mind. So that is the dharana. And once you start detaching from the mind, that I'm looking at this entity which thinks and feels, but this is not me because I'm looking at it clearly. Then you sit in dhyana, that you suspend your thoughts. Oh, this is the mind and this is not me. And therefore, can I just sort of just move here and there and move the mind on the side, and I suspend my thoughts and my feelings. And that's when I'm in dhyana. That's the meditation. And you have to come till there. And the final stage is when we arrive at samadhi. So these are the 8 limbs of yoga. The samadhi is when the unison happens, when you are when you're in full and complete awareness that you are not in this mind, you're not this mind and body. The problem that happens is that when we are doing asana practice, which all of us do, with the objective of looking nice, of toning, of losing weight, we do even pranayam. So all of these people move towards yoga in term, and I'm saying like, so to asana practice and pranayama practice, because they can no longer enjoy the world in their current state. They have to better their physical state to be able to better enjoy the world. So that is not yoga, that is bhoga. You're becoming a bhogi, a materialistic consumer. So be very aware. The practice that you do in support of this unison is yoga. You could be watering the plants, feeling one with them. That is a path of yoga. You could be standing in Vrikshasana for the whole day and be thinking, how do I look? How will it look on my Instagram page? Well, that is not yoga. You're not doing it for the unison. So be very aware. Where are we? What are we heading towards with the practice that I'm doing? That is yoga. Are you moving there? Or you're moving back into the world? Okay, let me look nice. Now I can eat anything. I can drink anywhere, anytime. I can sleep. I can enjoy. I can go do my pranayama. I can go for the 10-mile hike. I'll be good. But that is not yoga. You did the breathing exercise. You did the exercises. But that was not in pursuit of yoga. So then let's not call that. It's fine. I mean, one may not align to the process of yoga, and that's absolutely fine. No value judgment on it. But if one is proceeding towards yoga, know very clearly what it is and what it is not. Now I want to bring you to the first limb of yoga, Yama, which a whole lot of us feel it's class 2 moral science. And therefore we have this tendency to just foo-foo it. Don't want. Why? We'll do yoga. I'm doing so well in my chakrasana, and I'm doing such a fabulous sarvangasana. And so, why do the yama? So here first let me explain to you the yama, and then I will explain to you how understanding the yama actually brings in the healing that is required. Now, with that healing, you may continue the path of yoga, or you go back to being the bhoga or the bhogi. That is fine. But understand that these are important. If the first line of Patanjali Yoga Sutra says, Atha Anushasanam, Atha Yoga Anushasanam, I think, yes. It means now we start. In continuation, we will do the yoga Anushasanam. It basically means that one has already known what it is to know before you're coming into the yoga process. Even before the protocols start, we already know there's a certain basic understanding of the philosophy of the spirituality understanding is already in place before we are getting there. And what is that understanding? That understanding is that I am one with everything. I am one with anything that I can think of, any person, any concept, anything whatsoever. There is oneness. That is the given premise. We build from there. That is the understanding. If I am still operating that I am separate from the world, I am separate from that person, I am separate from the objects and things and whatever it is that I know of, then I have not yet understood the very first, we're not even at the nursery of the 10th standard that we have to get into. This oneness is very important, knowing this oneness, that I am part of this big resource pool and I'm just one of the expression. It's like I'm one of the wave in the ocean and there's a whole ocean. And if the wave is misunderstanding that the other waves are other than me, then it's in problem. And therefore you can't understand the yoga. To understand that they all are me only, and everything, that water that is in the ocean is in me, and the same water is in them also. And exactly the same, we're part of the same source. And that is the closest analogy I can bring you to when it comes to oneness. I am, we are all one. So if we are all one, the first rule of Yama, or the first understanding of Yama, is that of ahimsa, non-violence. So why would I be violent? If I'm violent, I am in denial of this first basic rule that I'm one with everything. Who is the person who's violent? Who wants to cause harm? And why would you like to cause harm to yourself? It's like this hand is taking a dagger and, trying to harm the other hand. Why would it do it? Unless it did not know it's part of the same. And the pain will be excruciating for both. So first is ahimsa, non-violence in action, in thought, and in speech. To understand that the other is also me, I then have to exercise that restraint. I have to understand, why am I feeling this the way I'm feeling? And therefore, ahimsa is the number one yama. Everything else follows closely. They say, if you have to save a life and you have to lie for it or do something else for it, it's fine. Ahimsa is primordial. Closely followed behind ahimsa is satya, to be truthful, to say that what is right, to have an honest conversation in your own mind. Why do I not do things when I know they are right to do? Why am I not doing it? What excuses am I telling? And I want to bring this interesting experience that we have in the class when people say they didn't come for meditation. Why? Because somebody came, oh, I was a little caught up. Why have you not done meditation today? Because something happened. Now, honestly speaking, 15, 20 minutes in a day, tell me, what are you doing that you cannot spare 20 minutes in the day? Have that honest conversation. I did not do because I did not feel like doing it. Keep it very honest. It's fine. You don't have to do meditation every day if you can't get through it. But at least be honest, because unless we are not seeing the truth as it is, how will we begin to resolve that problem? Or if we're thinking it of as problem. So truth, you may say whatever it is that you have to say. So I spoke the truth. But you know why you spoke it. To hurt somebody, brought the hinsa in it. And here I want to tell you a very nice story. I think everybody likes a story. So please, let's listen to this nice story. In a kingdom many years ago, there was a king who threw a big lunch bash for all the Brahmins of the kingdom and the surrounding kingdoms also. So there was a big Mahabhog, it's called. And a lot of Brahmins came up from far and wide. And this was kept inside the palace. It was an open air thing because clearly there were a lot of people, hot summer day or whatever it was. So everybody's sitting out and all the Brahmins are being served. The best of Maharajas have come to cook the meal. It's all very sattvic, fabulous arrangement. There's absolutely no dearth of what can go wrong. So beautifully it's being handled. And while everybody is eating, very far up in the sky, beyond the sight of people, there's this eagle which is flying, and in its beak, it's carrying a dead serpent, a dead snake, because the eagle may have killed it or whatever, carrying the dead snake. The dead snake just died recently. The venom is still sort of dripping from its mouth, and those drops of venom drop into the food, and unbeknownst to anybody, one of the Brahmins consumes that food and dies, obviously. So now there is this huge ruckus and a whole lot of chaos and commotion in the heavens. The Brahmin has died, and how can this happen? And who will take the blame? On whose head is this pap? Who shall we transfer the pap to? Because it can't be to the king. Poor guy, he was doing the goodness, he was feeding the Brahmins, not the ones who cooked the food. Clearly, it was not their fault. You can't transfer it to the eagle. It's his job too. That is his nature, prakriti, to take the snake, kill the snake and take. Can't blame the snake. Poor thing, he's so dead anyway. So who do you blame? Who do you bring this? Whose head? The killing of the Brahmin is too much for the heavens to not put it onto somebody. Nobody will take it. So they didn't know what to do. So this judgment on this death was kept on suspension for some time, on hold. The next year again, this Mahabhog happened and people came and Brahmins came and whatnot was happening. And so this young Brahmin came and he was very fascinated. He said, look at the arrangements, the festivity and whatnot. And he's looking around and he asks this, one of the passerby, he said, is this the Mahabhog? He says, yes, yes, go. It's very nice. Very nice. The king does whatnot for the Brahmins. Last year, one of them even died because of eating the food. That's it. The heavens say, no, this is the passerby on whose head we're going to pass the pap to. He's the one. We're going to give it off to him. So this is an interesting story because he said, I said this truth, but what was the intention? And that is what happens to us. There's nobody judging us. We are judging ourselves. We know the truth that carries in us. So be very careful. We have to be very careful of what we speak, because as long as I know my truth, I will have to come back to live it. If I am deviated from it in my action, actions don't matter. My intention does. So that the second Yama of Satya is that important. The third Yama of in the Yama series is that of Asteya. Asteya means non-stealing. Don't take of others. Obviously, because there are no others. We have just established there's all oneness. So why am I taking from somebody else? And not just things. We're taking favors. We take favors without understanding. We think, let's max. What can I take from this person so that, take favors, and what else can I take? And it's something which we have a lot of upbringing, a lot of mindset regarding that. People are going to take advantage of you if you do not take advantage of them. So that has been ingrained because perhaps we're a country where we have a lot of population, and if you are not smart aleck, you're not street smart, then somebody will take advantage of you. So we are taught, no, be smart. So we keep maxing out the people around us, not knowing it's degrading to ourselves in the long run, because they're just us only. They're just manifested differently. It's all us. And so we are in our head, we know it. This truth that I'm saying, but as I started off, we know the truth. There is an intrinsic inner self which already knows it has to go into the yoga. So there is no fooling around internally. You can't do that. That's why this action is very critical. The fourth Yama is Brahmacharya. A lot of people would probably read it as being celibate. It is not so. It is not to lust after anything. Not to lust after not just people, but for any other desire. Any desire that you go on fanning is anti-brahmacharya. What is it that is there, which is not part of you already, for which we will kill and we will lie and we will do steal and we will do all of this? For what? So therefore, the understanding brahmacharya is that don't lust after that which is already in you. Why are you going behind it? And there's another story which I'm going to tell you right now because it's too long. But understand that what we seek outside of us is already in us. So this constant desire state, come in the state of brahmacharya. It's fine, it can be there. And I'm all right now without having it also. And the final Yama is that of aparigraha, which is to not hoard things. And oh God, our culturally, our country, we hoard like, no, but like there's no tomorrow. We won't let go of things. We won't let go of old clothes, which we aren't wearing because they are not worn out enough for me to give it to somebody. We don't understand. We might as well give it out right now so that somebody could wear it, perhaps, if it's in a state of, it's a wearable state. We hoard not just material things, we hoard beliefs. If we have a solid belief, if we have a bias, if we have an attitude, if we have a horrible opinion about somebody, we go on collecting data, information, evidences to support that belief. We hoard it inside of us. We are free. We were absolutely made with nothing. There is that lightness and subtlety that we need to have. Stop hoarding, because having too much of material, the matter around us, whether it is in form of things or it's in terms of thought, in terms of belief, all of these are energy. And the more we are clinging onto them, the more heavy, the more gross we become. And the more gross we become, the difficult it is for us to live, and even worse, it's difficult for us to die. And people struggle to die. They just do not know how to let go. So much is being held. They will not let go of thoughts and beliefs. So this is the Yama, the 5 Yamas that we need to take care of. And why? And I'm going to now I'm going to put it onto how that helps or aids or is an influence of our healing process. The ones who are violent because they are fearful. And when we are fearful, we reinforce this sentiment over and over again, and the chakra that gets degraded or blocked is what? Our base chakra. When we lie, when we do horrible things, we know intrinsically that we have done something, some goofa, and that's when the guilt comes. And what chakra comes into play then? The Swadhisthana, that goes, that gets compromised. We hoarding of stuff. Our Manipura, the amount of power that we all in the country or world, across worldwide, to hoard more and more power, to be able to influence the whole world, the Manipura chakra, wanting things, desiring things, people we desire, and not just sexually, but even otherwise also. And when we don't get it or we lose them, sadness, grief, or anahata. And then we speak all sorts of things, right, wrong. Don't even speak because it's so angry, so agitated. Things are not falling out. The Vishuddhi goes. And everything blurs. This is lost. Ignorance is pervading like anything. The Agnya is completely covered in illusions. We just don't want to get rid of them. It's a difficult battle. Why? Why do we do all this? Because we started off with the belief that I am separate, I'm finite. The ego in me, the Sahasrara, that gets blocked. That's blocked. Because I'm not understanding that I am one with everything. My ego has taken over. So knowing the yamas, operating from the yamas is not class 2 textbook moral science. It is absolutely fundamental, essential, core to the practice of your pursuit of yoga. You may not be pursuing yoga, that's fine, but there is something in you which pursues it. It's your higher, more intelligent, more stronger self. It will prevail. It's a matter of time when it will happen. And how much are we willing to yield and willing to align and come into awareness? I want you all right now, wherever you're sitting, just close your eyes, sit back, just push yourself back into the chair that you're in. Keep your palms on your lap. Make sure you're sitting very comfortably. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Fill your belly up and gently blow out using your mouth. Just breathe in and breathe out gently. And just see how you're breathing. Is your belly rising and falling? Your eyes are closed. You're listening to my voice. I will take you through in the next 10 minutes. It's a very small, quick meditation. You just have to be with me. Just keep listening to what I'm saying and keep trying to do. Your mind may be a little distracted. That's fine. You'll have a lot of thoughts. That's fine too. Just keep following what I'm asking you to do. Breathe and just watch your normal, natural breath. If your belly can rise and fall with it, that's great. Doesn't matter what you're thinking. Absolutely don't worry. I'm not saying to don't look at it. You can absolutely look at it. But I'm saying don't judge yourself. My God, what are these thoughts? And look, it's unrelated. Perhaps you're thinking of the Chinese that you have to eat today for lunch. Absolutely unrelated. It's fine. Just watch your breath. Look at all the thoughts coming and going. Breathe normally through your nostrils. Now, these chakras that I was talking to you about, you're listening to me, and a lot of you are from the meditation group, which I belong to. You are my co-sadhaks, and you have heard this a whole lot from me. But this is something which I'm going to discuss for the first time, and I want you to listen to it while you're watching your breath with your eyes closed. In the context of a conversation, it is said that the chakras are getting depleted, or they are getting congested, or they are getting overactivated. The chakras do not change. They are what they are. They do not over-energize. They do not underperform. They are what they are. They are part of the true essence. They are energy fields of the true essence. So they do not go, nothing happens to them. What happens is around them and on top of them, we place a whole lot of garbage. I'm calling it a garbage. We put a lot of thoughts and emotions over there. A whole lot of that energy field. It attracts the thoughts and emotions that are passing in our system. You may not have deliberately put them there, but they go there and park themselves. Those thoughts and emotions were important at that time when the event was happening. But the event went. It's over. It's in the past. Some of the events you're already thinking of, preempting them in the future. They haven't yet happened, but your thoughts and emotions are already there. And they're also placed, parked near the chakras. So the chakras seem like they're depleted. They seem like they are not performing. They are okay. There's just too much of stuff and matter around it. Too much. They don't appear good, but they are all right. It's like the sun. We don't see the sun because it could be a cloudy day, it could be a storm, it could be a cyclone, it could be a tornado, it could be pollution. It could be that we dug a tunnel and went inside it and we couldn't see the sun. So that is what has happened. The chakras are all there. They are all perfectly in good place and in good health. We have put things around them. So as you watch your breathing now, with this new understanding about your chakras, imagine I will take you through all your chakras, and you will imagine that they're all looking nice now because you're imagining that everything else around it has cleared up. We typically use they are looking better, not that they have become better, that's because the visual is better. You're seeing them finer. So as you watch your breath, think of your base chakra, the Muladhara. It's a red energy field. In English, that's how it's spoken. The red Muladhara chakra collects all the fear. That's the fears go and park themselves there. And then the chakra is not able to manifest itself efficiently. I'll chant, you will just be here thinking. Now you're looking at a beautiful Muladhara chakra. Everything else is cleared. You've cleaned up the place now. Lam, 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 lam. Observe your breathing. How are you breathing now? Is your belly still rising and falling? Look at your Muladhara chakra in your imagination. It's looking fabulous. You've cleaned up the place. When you watch your breath, you create that space where all the things that are clouding it have gotten cleaned. Now bring your awareness slightly above to your Swadhisthana chakra. Orange it is in color. It's behind your pubic bone, the sex chakra. Think it's gotten cleaner just because you're watching it getting clean. Your thoughts are powerful. So watch it, have that imagination, and watch your breathing, very importantly. I'll start the chant. Please be here. Bum, 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 bum. Observe your breathing. As you watch your breath now, Think that the orange Swadhisthana is looking very nice. Everything around it has cleared up. There's nothing that is blocking your view of your Swadhisthana chakra in your mind. How are you breathing? Is your belly also moving up and down? Can you please include it also? Very gently now, bring up your awareness up behind your navel and imagine the yellow Manipura chakra, the solar plexus. Think it's looking very nice. Imagine a beautiful orange yellow sun that you may have thought of or looked at some point in time. Let go of all that is clouding this chakra. I'll start the chanting. Please keep watching your breath and keep imagining it's getting nicer. It's looking very nice in your imagination. Ram, 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 Ram. Observe your breathing. The yellow Manipura chakra in your imagination is looking very nice. You're watching your breath. It may be slowing down, that's fine. Just keep looking at it. Don't try and change. Look at the yellow Manipura in your imagination, this yellow chakra, however it's coming in your imagination. It's looking perfect. Watch your breath and gently bring your awareness up to your chest. And behind your chest center is your heart chakra, the green anahata. Observe your breath and free whatever it is that is crowding, blocking this chakra to shine forth in you. Observe your breathing. I will start the chant. You will imagine that this green anahata is now looking very nice. Yam, 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 yam. Observe your breathing. Imagine the green anahata is looking fabulous in your imagination. There's nothing else which is covering it now. And now gently bring your awareness to your throat. Here is the blue Vishuddhi. Imagine it's looking beautiful. You're watching your breath. That is what helps the things that are crowding around it to move. Your witnessing of your breath. So move, clear up. It's your will. You have to use your will to clear it up. It's your choice. I'll start the chanting. Please be here. Hum, 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 hum. Observe your breathing. The breath is slowing down, but keep looking at it. Keep watching it. Make sure your belly is also rising and falling. Slowly bring your awareness to the space between your eyebrow center. Here is the third eye chakra, the Agnya. And this chakra is indigo in color. You can imagine it's shining forth, the indigo. Watch your breath. It's so faint, but still look for it. I will make two chants and you will imagine that your breathing and the chanting is clearing up everything around this chakra. Observe your breathing. Gently bring your awareness to the top of your head. Here is your crown chakra that looks like a lotus. The violet Sahasrara. Clear up this chakra. Think that it has become beautiful. The lotus is full bloom. Healthy it's looking. Anything that was stuck around it is all gone. By watching your breath. One chant for this chakra. Please be here. Imagine a white light just pouring into your head from the top, connecting all the chakras, going down as you watch your breath, connecting all of them in one line. Everything is luminous, your body, the chakras, your spine, your lungs, every part of your body. Your blood carrying capillaries, your bones, your muscles, everything, every cell. And that white light is going down in your legs, your knees, your soles of your feet, and going into the earth. Observe your breath. Imagine expansion of this light beyond your own body, becoming one with the universe. This light, which is you, you are this light. And you've become one with the universe now as the light has expanded into the universe. Observe your very faint breath. Just be here for just 1 second more. And slowly retrieve back, become aware of your physical form. Raise your hands to your chest level with your palms facing outward. Imagine light from your palm is coming out. You're blessing the earth, a small earth, imaginary earth between your palms. Bless it with love, light, and healing energy. Bless every person, every being with this, with a lot of love and kindness in your heart. Bless them. Anything, everything that you know of, bless them all. Watch your breath and very gently keep your palms back into your lap. When you're ready, open your eyes with a big smile. Thank you everyone for participating in this meditation. I know a lot of you must be feeling very calm and not feeling like talking at all. But if you have any questions, I'll take them now.